My name is Sarah Mitchell. I'm 32 years old, and 3 weeks ago, I stood at my younger brother's wedding rehearsal dinner, microphone in hand, about to give a toast that would shatter everything my family believed about me. But before I tell you what happened when I started speaking, let me take you back to where this all began. Because sometimes, the people who hurt you the most are the ones who promised to protect you. I was 7 years old when I learned that some promises are made to be broken. "I'll always be here for you, sweetheart," a mom said, tucking me into bed. "No matter what happens, you can count on me." I believed her. Kids always believe their parents, don't they? My brother Ethan was born when I was 8. From the moment he arrived, everything shifted. Not slowly, instantly. Like someone flipped a switch and suddenly I was furniture. Background noise. The before picture. "Sarah, be quiet. The baby's sleeping." "Sarah, not now. I'm feeding Ethan." "Sarah, can't you see I'm busy?" I told myself it was normal. New babies need attention. It will get better. It didn't. By the time I was 12, I'd become the built-in babysitter. Every Friday night while my friends went to the movies, I watched Ethan. Every Saturday while they hung out at the mall, I changed diapers and warmed bottles. Family helps family, a dad would say, already heading out the door for his golf game. When I was 14, I won the regional debate championship, beating 63 other students. I was so proud. I called Mom from the school, voice shaking with excitement. "That's wonderful, honey," she said. "Listen, can you pick up Ethan from soccer on your way home? I'm running late." She didn't come to the award ceremony. Neither did Dad. Too busy with Ethan's parent-teacher conference. I stood on that stage, accepted my trophy, and saw empty seats where my parents should have been. That night, I cried myself to sleep. The trophy went on my shelf. Nobody ever asked to see it. The pattern was set. I could achieve anything, scholarships, awards, perfect grades, and it would always come second to Ethan's soccer game, Ethan's school play, Ethan's new girlfriend. I learned to celebrate alone. But I told myself it was fine. I was the strong one. The independent one. I didn't need validation like Ethan did. I could handle it. After high school graduation, I was valedictorian. Full scholarship to Northwestern University. My parents threw a party. Sounds nice, right? Except the party was really for Ethan's 8th grade graduation. Mine was just a combine to save money. The cake had both our names, but Ethan's was in bigger letters. I left for college and finally felt like I could breathe. For years of being my own person, making my own choices, mattering to people who actually saw me, I thrived. Dean's List every semester. President of the Pre-Law Society. Internship at a prestigious law firm. I built a life where my accomplishments weren't overshadowed by someone else's mediocrity. After law school, I joined a civil rights firm. The pay wasn't great, but the work mattered. I represented people who couldn't afford lawyers, fought against discrimination, made real changes. Meanwhile, Ethan dropped out of community college twice, worked part-time at Dad's friend's company, and still lived at home at 24. He's finding himself, a mom would say. I was finding justice for people. He was finding himself. When I made partner at 29, the youngest in the firm's history, Mom said, "That's nice, dear," and then spent 30 minutes telling me about Ethan's new apartment. I stopped sharing my victories. What was the point? Last year, Ethan got engaged. Rebecca, his girlfriend of 8 months. Sweet girl, genuinely kind, deserved better than my mess of a brother. Mom called me, crying happy tears. Oh Sarah, we're so thrilled. Ethan's getting married. That's great, Mom. The wedding's in June. You'll be a maid of honor, of course. Of course. Not because Ethan wanted me there, but because it looked good. Perfect family, perfect wedding. I said yes. Because that's what I did. Said yes when they needed me, disappeared when they didn't. The wedding planning was chaotic. Mom threw herself into it completely. Every conversation was about flowers, venues, guest lists. She'd call me 3 times a day with updates I didn't ask for. Sarah, what do you think of these centerpieces? Sarah, can you believe how expensive photographers are? Sarah, Ethan wants a destination bachelor party. Isn't that exciting? I planned my own birthday dinner at 29. Alone. At a restaurant. Mom forgot to call. But Ethan's bachelor party? 3 weeks in advance, Mom was asking if I'd contribute money. It's family, as she said. We all pitch in. I pitched in $500. Used my vacation days to help organize the rehearsal dinner. Ordered flowers, confirmed catering, handled RSVPs, a thank you, sweetheart, a mom said. I knew I could count on you. Count on me to work. Never count on me to matter. 2 weeks before the wedding, I was reviewing contracts at my office when my paralegal knocked. Sarah, your mom's on line 2. Says it's urgent. My stomach dropped. Urgent meant something happened to Dad. Or Ethan. I grabbed the phone. Mom? What's wrong? Oh honey, I need a favor. Not an emergency. A favor. What kind of favor? Rebecca's maid of honor dropped out. Food poisoning or something. We need you to step up. Mom, I'm already at the wedding. I know, but this is different. The maid of honor gives a speech. We need someone who can speak well. You're a lawyer. You're good at that. My jaw tightened. When would I need to do this? The rehearsal dinner. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow? Mom, that's barely 24 hours notice. I know it's short notice, but you're so good at this kind of thing. You'll think of something perfect. She hung up before I could say no. I sat at my desk, staring at my computer screen. 24 hours to write a speech celebrating a brother who barely acknowledged my existence. That night, I started writing. Deleted it. Started again. What do you say about someone who took everything and never noticed? I tried the traditional route. Ethan and I grew up together. True, but hollow. We grew up in the same house, not together. Ethan has always been there for me. Lie. I'm so proud of my little brother. Complicated. At 2 a.m., exhausted and frustrated, I wrote something different. Something true. I didn't plan to actually say it. It was just therapy, getting feelings out. But I saved it. Just in case. The rehearsal dinner was at an expensive restaurant. Floor-to-ceiling windows, string lights, perfectly set tables. Mom had outdone herself. I arrived early, wearing the dress Mom picked out. Navy blue, conservative, forgettable. The dress of someone who shouldn't draw attention. Sarah. Mom hugged me. Thank you so much for doing this. You're a lifesaver. Sure, Mom. Your speech is ready? It's ready. Guests arrived. Ethan's friends, loud and drunk already. Rebecca's family, polite and warm. My parents' friends, people who'd watched me grow up invisible. Dinner was served. Speeches began. Rebecca's father went first. Touching story about his daughter, how Ethan made her happy, how excited they were to welcome him to the family. Then Ethan's best man. Funny, inappropriate jokes about their college days. Everyone laughed. Then Mom stood up. Before we hear from the maid of honor, I want to say a few words. She talked for 10 minutes. About Ethan's childhood, his accomplishments, few, his wonderful heart, debatable. About how proud she was. She didn't mention me once. Then she looked at me. And now, Ethan's sister Sarah will say a few words. I stood up. Smoothed my dress. I walked to the microphone. Everyone's attention shifted to me. Polite smiles, waiting. I looked at Ethan. He was scrolling on his phone, barely paying attention. I looked at Mom. She was beaming, confident I'd deliver something perfect. I looked at my phone, at the speech I'd written at 2 a.m. And I made a choice. Good evening, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Sarah. Ethan's older sister. Polite applause. I was asked to say a few words about my brother. About growing up together, about the bond we share. I paused. But I'm going to tell you the truth instead. Mom's smile faltered. I was 7 when Ethan was born. And from that moment, I became invisible. The room went quiet. Every achievement I earned, every award I won, every milestone I reached, it was background noise to Ethan's existence. Mom stood up. Sarah, maybe we should, sit down, Mom. Saturday. I was valedictorian. Did you know that? I looked around the room. Probably not. Because Ethan graduated 8th grade the same week, and that was more important. Dad's face went pale. I became a partner at a law firm at 29. Youngest in its history. I fight for people's civil rights every day. I matter in this world. My voice stayed steady. But in this family, I've never mattered. Not once in 24 years. Ethan looked up from his phone, confused. So here's my toast to Ethan. May Rebecca give you the attention you've always gotten. May she sacrifice her accomplishments for yours. May she learn, as I did, that love in this family is conditional. I raised my glass. And may she realize, before I did, that she deserves better. I set down the microphone and walked out. Behind me, chaos erupted. Mom calling my name, Dad shouting, guests whispering. I kept walking. Outside, the cool air hit my face. My hands were shaking. My phone buzzed immediately. Mom, how could you do this? Dad, you embarrassed this entire family. Ethan, what the hell, Sarah? I blocked all 3 numbers. A voice behind me, that was the bravest thing I've ever seen. I turned. Rebecca stood there, still in her rehearsal dress. I'm sorry, I said. I didn't mean to ruin. You didn't ruin anything. She stepped closer. You told the truth. And honestly, I needed to hear it. We stood there, two women who'd both tried to fit into a family that didn't see them. "He doesn't even know my favorite color," Rebecca said quietly. "We've been together 8 months, and he doesn't know." "Rebecca, what's yours?" I blinked. "What?" "Your favorite color." "What is it?" "Teal." She smiled sadly. "Mine's yellow." "See? We just met, and we already know more about each other than Ethan knows about either of us." That night, Rebecca called off the wedding. "My parents blame me. Haven't spoken to me since." Ethan sent one message: "You always had to make everything about you." I didn't respond. But here's what happened next. I got flowers from 12 different people at that dinner. People who saw me, really saw me, for the first time. Rebecca and I got coffee. Then lunch. Now we're friends. Real friends. I started therapy, learning that I deserved more than crumbs of affection. And yesterday, I got a letter from my aunt, Dad's sister. She wrote, "I've watched you be invisible for 24 years. I'm sorry I never said anything. You deserved better. You deserve everything." She included a check for $5,000. For the achievements nobody celebrated. I'm 32 years old. I've learned that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is tell your truth, even when it costs you everything. My family may never forgive me. But I've finally forgiven myself. For believing I was the problem. For thinking I needed to earn love. For staying silent so long. That wedding toast cost me my family. But it gave me back myself. And that's worth everything.